So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and we have an absolute mammoth of a PUBG update today. And as you can see, the background gameplay is in fact TDM in this game, which has just been added. So I'm going to let that play in the background while we talk about this update. I'm going to talk about my feelings about Team Deathmatch at the end of the video, but for now, let's get through all of the new big changes. It's 4 a.m. and I still haven't gone to bed. I stayed up to play this TDM mode and make this video, so if you guys wouldn't mind sparing just 1 second to drop a like rating, that would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss any more videos like this. But anyways, update 6.2 has just come out on the test server, and it's coming with a lot of very fundamental gameplay changes. And the first one that they mention are changes finally to frag grenades. Now, these have been a problem for a while, and so they have completely reworked these now, and this is very important. So vest will now mitigate damage received from frag grenades, but your vest durability isn't going to be reduced when you take damage. So now vest actually help against grenades, but will not wear down your armor when exploded. The damage mitigation is obviously going to be dependent on your armor, similar to how it already is with bullets. Frag grenades will interestingly deal 20% less damage to prone players, which I'm not sure exactly why, but that's an interesting thing to note. The item weight has also been increased by about half, where it takes a lot more space in your inventory, and then pulling the pin on the frag is also significantly louder, so grenades have received quite a big nerf to what they have been. Smoke grenades and stuns have also received a little bit of a buff. For the smoke grenades, the fuse time per activation has been dropped down from 3 seconds down to 1. So this means as soon as you pull the pin and you let it hit the ground, the effect is going to instantaneously happen. And then with stun grenades, the indirect area of effect has been increased by about 1 meter, and there's been also some added effects when being hit by stun grenades. So effectively, these two tactical grenades have been buffed, while the frag grenade received a hard nerf. And I think these are absolutely wonderful changes. I'm very glad frags aren't going to be just these insta-kill weapons anymore, and we probably won't be seeing them a ton. Also, Molotovs have caught a buff as well. The rate at which the fire spreads around has been increased by about 50%, and it does 10 more damage per tick, which is actually kind of a lot in this. The only way that you could kill really someone with a Molly at full health is if you got extremely lucky and they stood in it for way longer than they should have. It now has an increased damage radius as well, and the fire even spreads farther. So all in all, as far as throwables, everything got buffed minus frag grenades, which I think is just a really good thing for the balance, and I'm absolutely okay with this patch. Now, this next update is a really important one. This has to do with right peeking. Now, as you guys know, that pretty much every Battlegrounds player knows that peeking right actually exposes less of your body than if you were peeking left, and this led to some people abusing this maybe more than they should have. And while this has always been a fundamental design choice to have your right peek expose less of your body, that was on purpose, it's also been taken to kind of the extreme lately, and so they've actually made a change to how your right peek looks. It's now going to expose a little bit more of your body than it used to. Your character's head while aiming down a scope is also going to be slightly readjusted to make your head more visible for enemy players, especially when right peeking. So this is to sort of mitigate the problems with, right body peeking someone and being basically invisible. This was basically an exploit in a lot of people's eyes that was just being utterly abused for about the past month, and PUBG has been well aware of that. They end that statement by saying they're going to continue to monitor community feedback as far as this change is concerned, and they'll make adjustments accordingly. I haven't had the time to determine just yet, but it may end up that maybe left peeking is now the way to go, or maybe not peeking at all might be the call. I'm not really sure, but we'll wait and see on that. This next update, Karakin, is actually getting a significant amount of changes as well. Now, what's interesting is they've been listening very closely about community feedback in regards to loot on Karakin, and they've made a couple of changes. First off, the most exciting, the G36 and the MP5 have been added to Karakin. This is something we wanted ever since Vikendi gone away, because these guns were virtually unplayable now, and so they've been added to this map, which is great to hear. The overall spawn of meds have been greatly increased because the rate at which you'll see combat on Karakin was not proportionate to the meds that you're going to need, so they fixed that a little bit. First aids, bandages, and med kits are going to be a lot more easy to find now. The spawn rates of sniper rifles and DMRs, interestingly, have been nerfed. They don't want these particular weapons being the only meta that's viable on Karakin, and I guess they want to promote a little bit more variety, so the overall rate of these have been increased. The frequency that you're going to find these is way lower. They've also increased the speed of the airdrop plane, which is, again, great. They've done this twice now, because first of all, the plane was way too slow to begin with, and it wasn't great the second time around. Hopefully this next one is going to be the lucky charm. Another big update to look out for, the blue zone is undergoing a massive change, not in terms of of its speed and damage, but more of its visual effects. The distortion effect has actually been removed from this, so now it's no longer going to distort your scope aim when it passes over you, which is great. I absolutely hated that mechanic before, and they've gotten rid of that. They've also altered the effect where the blue zone meets the ground, so you can see exactly where it's lined up. The sound effects have also changed, leaving the zone and then going into the blue, so these are going to sound a little bit different when you do that action. And they've also added a very low humming sound to the blue zone when it's close to you for about like 10 meters, and I'm not sure exactly why this was done. They say it'll help players identify when the blue is getting close, but it's not like you can't see it or see it on your map or anything, but seems kind of strange to me, but I'm all for it, I guess. As long as it doesn't impede your ability to hear footsteps, and especially players coming out of the blue, then this change is virtually harmless. I don't know how much it's going to add to the game, but it's cool nonetheless. Another major change in this patch, blood has been readjusted once again, but this time nothing too drastic. The color saturation has been increased a little bit, so for a little bit better visibility, and they've also added distance scaling, so this means hitting somebody at like 1,000 meters, you'll still be able to see the blood splatter because it will be scaled for you, rather than if you just shoot them at 10 meters and then it'll be scaled properly as well, so this is a good thing. A pretty big change to parachuting has been made, and this is going to come into play a lot with squads and duos. Now, there is now a follow feature that you can take advantage of, and the best way to think about this is basically Apex Legends, where you have a jump master, and as soon as he jumps, he pretty much takes everyone with him. Now, the thing is, this follow feature is optional. You don't have to run it. If you choose to do so, you're going to follow your teammates, and it'll help you land together and avoid these instances where you guys get all split up, especially when you drop, if one person happened to maybe jump 1 second before the other. Also, the skill-based matchmaking second test is coming back around, and they've adjusted the overall algorithm to try and rate for more skill, and they've worked out the bugs from the previous system. Now, again, why I believe they're doing the skill-based matchmaking test is for the rumored ranked mode that's going to be coming very soon. So, while this is really no big surprise to us and we've covered in a past video, this is just something to keep your eyes out for, especially if you enjoy participating in the skill-based matchmaking test. It will be coming back in PUBG Labs very, very soon. And now also, let's talk about Team Deathmatch. Now, this is the big gem that's coming in with this update, probably the biggest thing that they worked on, and honestly, I got my chance to play this just a couple of hours ago. I was one of the first ones to enjoy this on the test server, and I gotta say, this is amazing. You guys know me, I try to be as absolutely honest as I can on this channel. If there's something that I don't like about PUBG, I'm very vocal about it, right? Because I'm critical about this game because I care about it. I will say this though, Team Deathmatch in this new setting that they have is absolutely wonderful. All these matches that I played, because it's so late in the night, the only people that are on are other pro players and streamers and stuff, so it was very sweaty, but it was good. Like, I got the chance to try out all the different classes and get a feel for all of the maps, and to be honest, they are cutouts of still the original BR, but they're kind of made to play as a team, and it's 8v8. The pace of the game is so quick and enjoyable, but you can still strategize and, you know, pick different weapons that actually matter. The healing in this, you don't really have to worry about. It happens automatically. That was my biggest problem with the ground spawn mode they had a while ago. That's been completely resolved here. The gunplay is fun, and you get into the action very quick. You only have like a 2 or 3 second death cooldown where you can respawn. You can choose a bunch of different classes, everything from an AKM class, M416, Carnady, M24, SLR, Mini 14, DBS, Vector, that sort of stuff, and they all come with like different armor setups. The ARs, I believe, have level 1 armor, then everything else has level 2 gear, so it's really up to you to pick on what exactly you want to strategize with. I think this is going to play out exactly how we predicted. This mode will be wonderful for going in and just shooting around with your friends and maybe warming up your gun before you get into an actual BR game. Whatever you like to do, I think this version of Team Deathmatch really succeeds, and to PUBG Corp and the people who put this together, you guys did a really good job on this. I won't lie, I honestly had fears that this Team Deathmatch mode was going to be kind of garbage and would only further divide the community, but after spending some time with it and really getting to figure out the mechanics and how it plays out, this mode is great, and I really think this is going to bring a lot of people back. I recommend you try it out if you have the chance to do so. It's going to be on console and also PC very, very soon. The match length is just the perfect amount too. It's not too tedious and it doesn't drag on, and it's also not super short either. You really have a chance to, you know, flesh out the mode and really get invested in your game. And so honestly, I can't speak highly enough of Team Deathmatch. I really enjoyed myself playing this so far. This patch brings in a much needed refresher to the game and also a lot of bug fixes and new patches that we're going to be expecting also down the road. So I guess what's cool about this is we still have a couple things to keep our eyes out for. far. The Black Zone smoke signal and also the Panzerfaust. This should be coming to Karakin. It hasn't come in this update, but will likely be in the next one. So these are things to keep your sights out for. And also all of the bug fixes, I'm going to leave the full patch notes in the description because I'm not going to go over all the bugs in this video. If you want to check it out for yourself, you can down below. One weird thing I noticed in these patch notes that they mentioned very briefly, but it's kind of like important, they removed Erangel Classic from custom games. So now, as far as I can tell, this map is no longer playable in any form whatsoever. I don't know if that's going to affect many players. Like, I don't know who still plays on Erangel Classic besides like esports, but yeah, that's basically been yoinked from the game. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but it is no longer available in this current patch, so that's interesting. But yeah, if you want to check out all of the other small little bug fixes and stuff like that, again, check the link in the description. You can go read through the patch notes yourself. But other than that, let me know what you think about this video down below in the comment section, guys. What do you think of this update, and what do you think of Team Deathmatch? To be honest with you, man, this is such a huge success, and really, you should go and try it out if you have the opportunity to do so. It is so much fun. But anyways, I don't want to take up any more of your time. It is past 5 a.m. and I need to get some sleep, so I'm gonna let you guys go today. If you guys enjoyed the video though, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're brand new, and also guys, go check out my Twitch channel where I'm going to be streaming every single day. Link is in the description. Thank you guys so much, but I'm gonna go to bed now. Have a good rest of your day, guys, and peace out.